No matter how long a trial is, many participants are anxious for it to end. The jurors want to go home for obvious reasons, the attorneys and clients have had their fill of it as well, and the experts just want to testify, go home, and get past the pressure. Often, the judge imposes deadlines on the attorneys for the duration of the trial as a whole, and the testimonial time individually for the witnesses. You may have spent months in preparation. You may have already spent days or hours giving deposition testimony. What you might not realize is that the judge has given your attorney time limits for your testimony during the trial. Trial testimony could be as little as 15 minutes or only an hour or two to cover material that you covered in your deposition in an entire day and that you spent months to prepare. So don't be misled into thinking that trial testimony will take anywhere near as much time as it did during your deposition. A key tactic is that you need to listen and listen and listen again to every question. If you don't understand the question completely, how can you answer it effectively and correctly? My advice about answering questions still applies. Understanding and following that advice is even more urgent now. Your answers have to be on target. They have to answer the question directly and only answer the precise question that is asked. If you answer each question with as short a reply as possible, it helps to protect you and to move the proceedings along. The point here is to avoid making errors in long-winded responses. Long answers just give the opposing counsel an opportunity to latch onto a word or phrase that you may have said. Avoiding errors is the most important benefit of short answers. The jurors will also be more likely to be able to follow those short answers. Shorter sentences are easier to understand. Short sentences enable the jurors to more easily stay connected to your line of thought. And you should stick to a simple English. You must remember that you are not talking to colleagues or to students in a graduate class. You are talking to a group of random people, some of whom may not have even gone to high school. Sentences with simple words are best. Your answers should not, if possible, contain acronyms or special terminology from your discipline. If you have to use a word like that, take a moment to explain it to the jurors. Opposing attorneys sometimes purposely use these technical terms because they want you to lose the jurors' attention. That's okay. When an attorney uses an acronym or other technical term in a question, do not just respond by answering his question with the term in your answer. Take a moment before answering the question to explain that term to the jury. Then you can go ahead and answer the rest of the question. Remember simple English. Remember that you want the jurors attentive to you. In my experience, jurors stay attentive to me when I use simple or engaging metaphors, or simple analogies, simple examples, and sometimes when I use simple visual exhibits that I have prepared in advance. I emphasize the word and adjective simple here because you can always explain complicated things in simple ways. Do not make the mistake of thinking that your science or technology or special discipline requires a complex explanation. Students in a classroom may ask you detailed questions that require technically precise explanations. In the judicial setting, people just want to understand. They just want to get the idea. In this situation, simplicity means clarity. If you can convey the essence of an opinion to the other people in the room with a simple word or analogy, you have done your job. You will have kept their attention, and you will have explained it well enough to have been convincing.